Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something that's reshaping how European enterprises operate: Agentic AI and autonomous systems. Sam, we're calling this Europe's 2026 enterprise revolution. And honestly, when I first read this, I realized most people still think we're in the chatbot era. Are we really moving past that?
Absolutely, Alex. And the numbers back it up. We're seeing prompt engineering searches up 3,700% year over year, and workflow automation queries jumping 1,750%. But here's the thing. That growth tells us enterprises are desperately trying to figure out what comes next. They've exhausted chatbots, and now they're hunting for systems that actually do things autonomously.
That's the key word: autonomously. So let's unpack this. What exactly is an agentic AI system? Because I think a lot of listeners might hear autonomous and think of self-driving cars, right?
Fair comparison, but agentic AI in the enterprise context is more subtle. These systems set their own goals, break them into subtasks, and execute solutions with minimal human oversight. They're not just answering questions, they're thinking several steps ahead, integrating with your APIs and databases, learning from feedback, and adapting when things go wrong. It's proactive, not reactive.
So a chatbot waits for you to ask a question. An agentic AI system is already working on the problem before you realize you have one. That's a fundamental difference. But Sam, you're a technical person. Do these systems actually work better, or is this hype?
Here's where it gets interesting. In pure performance terms, agentic AI can be brilliant for exploratory work, R&D, innovation labs, but in mission-critical operations, European enterprises we've talked to are actually favoring AI workflows, hybrid systems that blend structured automation with strategic AI decision points. They're more transparent, auditable, and they drastically reduce hallucination risks.
Hallucination, meaning when AI confidently tells you something that's completely made up. That's a real problem in regulated industries. Which brings us to the elephant in the room, the EU AI Act. Sam, is that regulatory framework actually helpful, or is it just adding friction?
It's both, honestly. For systems making decisions about employment, credit, criminal justice, or essential services, the EU AI Act classifies them as high risk, which means you need impact assessments, continuous monitoring, human oversight mechanisms, and transparent documentation. That sounds burdensome, but organizations investing now in compliance-ready architectures are gaining real competitive advantage by 2026.
So compliance isn't just a checkbox. It's actually becoming a competitive moat. Organizations that build governance into their agentic AI from day one move faster than competitors playing catch-up later. That's smart. But let's talk about who actually needs this technology. Is it every enterprise?
Not every enterprise needs full agentic autonomy, but vertical AI solutions, systems built specifically for healthcare, manufacturing, finance, are growing at 21% CAGR through 2034. So if you're in one of those sectors, ignoring this is risky. The technology is becoming industry-specific and deeply integrated into workflows.
Let's get practical then. If I'm a European enterprise leader listening to this right now, what should I actually do? Like Monday morning, what's the action?
First, audit where you're losing time to repetitive multi-step processes. That's your agentic AI opportunity. Second, map those processes against the EU AI Act's risk categories. You probably have at least one high-risk workflow. Third, start pilot projects with AI workflows, not full agentic autonomy. Get your team comfortable with hybrid approaches before going all in on autonomous decision-making.
So, it's a journey, not a destination. You don't wake up one day and deploy fully autonomous agents everywhere. You build toward it thoughtfully. Sam, one more thing. I know EtherLink has an AI-led architect service specifically for this. What's that really about?
It's recognizing that deploying agentic AI responsibly requires both technical depth and governance thinking. Organizations need frameworks for integrating autonomous systems while maintaining compliance, managing risk, and actually measuring ROI. That's not something you can just outsource to a vendor. It requires internal leadership that understands both the potential and the pitfalls.
So you're not just implementing technology, you're building organizational capability. That's the real transformation happening here in Europe. Before we wrap up, let's level set expectations. What does this revolution actually look like in 2026? What's different?
By 2026, the European enterprises winning are the ones with autonomous workflows, handling routine approvals, anomaly detection, multi-step research synthesis, and decision support. They're not fully autonomous, they're augmented. And critically, they're compliant by design. The losers are still debating whether to implement something and scrambling to retrofit governance afterward.
So the differentiation is really about speed plus responsibility. You move faster, and you don't break regulations. That's powerful. Sam, last thought. Is there a misconception about agentic AI that you wish people understood better?
Yeah. People assume agentic AI means removing humans from decisions. It doesn't. The best implementations have clear human override points, audit trails, and strategic decision-making remains human-driven. Agentic AI is a force multiplier, not a replacement. The enterprises that internalize that win.
Force multiplier, not replacement. That's the frame we need. Listeners, if you want to dig deeper into the technical architecture, compliance frameworks, and real-world deployment strategies, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full article. We've covered a lot of ground today, from what defines agentic AI to how the EU AI Act shapes competitive advantage to the practical next steps for your organization. Sam, thanks for breaking this down with clarity and honesty.
Always a pleasure, Alex. And to our listeners, this revolution is happening whether you engage with it intentionally or not. The smarter move is to start now, build responsibly, and lead rather than follow.
Exactly. EtherLink AI Insights is brought to you by the team at etherlink.ai. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.